Stop! I say, Vinod Mehta, stop there before you decide to reopen. Before Ajay Makan calls us and accuses you of leaking all the information. But I must say this. But I must say this. I think Vinod Mehta is correct. And if I may corroborate, these meetings with editors are being arranged. And Vinod Mehta, I have the pleasure in informing you that you are number 3 on the list of several people who are due to meet Rahul Gandhi. So you are completely correct on that. And that was also corroborated to me yesterday. But I won't reveal any more. Because we may be meeting some of the same people.
I suggested that you should be number 1. Arnab, I suggested you should be number 1.
I am not in that race with you, Vinod Mehta. You have far more experience, wisdom, grey hair, and you are far more handsome than I am. But more a serious note, my question to Hartosh is this. Here is Vinod Mehta giving this long rope to everyone, including Manmohan Singh. My only question is about Rahul Gandhi, Hartosh. Why did he wake up so late? Why did he wake up a day after the BJP leaders met the president? You see, Rahul Gandhi has said this 2 days after the ordinance was promulgated, 21 days after the proposed bill to counter the Supreme Court's ruling was brought up in Parliament, and the whole country wants to know what took him so long to voice his objections. What took him so long, Hartosh?
Arnab, clearly, I am not so charitable on Rahul Gandhi. This is rehearsed political theatre and bad theatre at that. This is not the first time Rahul Gandhi has threatened to tear up a document. Go back to the UP elections. There's nothing spontaneous about this claim today. Obviously, there's a background to it. The Congress party has floated a bubble. They tried to push an ordinance. And we must remember, this is not an executive ordinance. It has political motives. To think Sonia Gandhi would not have been in on this ordinance is absurd. And to imagine that Rahul Gandhi does not talk to his mother, well, that says something about the Congress party, if that is what the party wants to claim. So Rahul was clearly in the know. You float this bubble, you find out that it is having repercussions that are politically dangerous. As you approach an election, you find a way out. What do? You find a man who has little face to lose, make him lose a little more face.
What?
Try make Rahul a hero. And this is the scenario you see played out before you today.
No, one second. This
Arnab.
is no. What? So what you are saying is that Rahul Gandhi went along. Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi all planned this out. This was meant to help the DMK in Tamil Nadu, Lalu Prasad in Bihar, get some allies happy, and that's why all the ministers, including Jairam Ramesh and Kapil Sibal and everyone, was falling in line. And now that Rahul Gandhi realized that it's going against popular opinion, he changed his line and has made Manmohan Singh the fall guy. That's what you're saying, Hartosh?
Absolutely.
You believe that?
Absolutely not.
You believe that Kumar
Ketkar? I agree with Vinod Mehta that Manmohan Singh must have felt relieved.
Absolutely, I believe.
Must have felt relieved. It is not in Manmohan Singh's DNA to accept such a kind of an ordinance, but he had to because he is running a coalition government. He is running a UPA government. It's not a Congress government.
Which is why he didn't frame the ordinance. That is what I'm trying to say. This ordinance didn't come from Manmohan Singh.
He had to make the government survive, and I think he did what was necessary to let the government survive.
Yes, I think as I go to Ravi Shankar Prasad, here's what I'd say. It is very difficult for anyone to believe that on such a sensitive issue, Ravi Shankar Prasad, the upper echelons of the Congress party had no idea what the government was up to. That's all.
Or now let me explain to you, I'm amazed Mr. Kumar Ketkar is a seasoned journalist.
Yeah.
Trying to justify a palpable theatre of the absurd, including bringing Narendra Modi's name, which I reject with all the authority at my command. Or now let me put one question straight away. Does Rahul Gandhi need to gate crash into a press conference being held by Ajay Makan? Or he can call a press conference separately?
He was called.
Should we presume that this serious issue was done without the consent of 10 Janpath? Or once the entire public mood was done, an image was thought to be given that 10 Janpath cannot do any wrong.
No, but as far as I am concerned, I don't know whether 10 Janpath was discussed. I don't know whether 10 Janpath was involved in making an ordinance.
Mr. Ketkar,
I don't think 10 Janpath is involved in making ordinances.
Please keep quiet. Mr. Ketkar, please keep quiet. I didn't disturb you. Secondly, it is very important. If Rahul Gandhi is so much driven to change the course of country's polity, why he kept quiet on the whole issue of corruption? On the 2G. Today, a shameful JPC report was bulldozed. He is keeping quiet, bailing out Manmohan Singh and Chidambaram. On this whole Colgate file, how Railgate happened, how a complete Mr. Pawan Bansal was given a complete clean sheet by the CBI, misuse of CBI from on the whole Commonwealth game. Mr. Rahul Gandhi has maintained a conspicuous silence, including on inflation.
So what's your allegation? What's your allegation?
My allegation is very simple. He sought to give an impression, let me try to take a high moral ground.
So he's taking the popular line. That's
a theatre of the absurd. A theatre of the absurd.
Vinod Mehta.
And secondly, he wanted to convey a message that the family cannot do wrong, the Prime Minister can do. And therefore the PM today stands humiliated. The kind of language, and it is very important. He is the Vice President. He is supposed to be the Congress PM's candidate. Can you afford to use these kind of phrases against your government? Nonsense. Must be torn away. Come on. What is this? He is a topmost leader.
No, you see, Vinod Mehta, here is Ravi Shankar Prasad makes two allegations. One, he says that this is Rahul Gandhi hypocritically trying to endear himself to the masses by trying to get an Aam Aadmi kind of image, right? And on the other hand, he throws a bigger question, and I think this is a question which many people will ask Vinod Mehta, that, you know, if Rahul Gandhi wants to bring greater transparency in our political system, then why was Rahul Gandhi quiet when the CVC said that political parties, including the Congress party, should be brought under the ambit of the Right to Information Act? At that point of time, Rahul Gandhi did not hold a press conference or call Ajay Maken and take a principled position in the Press Club of India. Surely there is something to do with the timing.
Arnab, if you are looking for inconsistencies, you can fill a full program about the inconsistencies of the Congress party and the mistakes that they have made. What I am trying to say is two things. One is that Rahul Gandhi doesn't need to improve his image in the Congress party.
No.
Yes.
No, this is not outside the Congress party.
Improve his image in the nation. Yes, he might want to improve his image in the nation. That's a different point. But at the end of the day, what we have seen is damage limitation. We have seen that the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi, especially the younger people, did not realize the force of public opinion against this legislation.
That is the point.
And once they realized
that is the point.
The force of public opinion, they came to their senses. And may I repeat once again and ask
that is the fundamental point. That
why should the Congress and Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi want to snub a Prime Minister who
they have Vinod Mehta, but they have Bharat Kumar Raut. But they already have Vinod Mehta. They already have Bharat Kumar Raut.
Vinod, you are too senior for me to make comment on you, but it is a strategy. It is a war strategy that you create opposition from within, so that there is no room for opposition.
But that means opposition has fallen for the strategy.
No, it is not. It has
opposition
not.
Has fallen.
It has not.
I mean, you are discussing for last 10 hours.
It is your
hypothesis. You are discussing for last 10 hours what Rahul Gandhi said.
No, my question is, Congress, I don't know whom to ask this question. Congress people, it is their will and wish to be subordinate to what Rahul says. But what happens to the allies of the UPA Congress? It is not the Congress government, it is UPA government. There are other allied parties. Is it not humiliating for them? Why the other allies are taking it?
Well,
they are called nonsense.
Well, I think Ravi Shankar Prasad.
They are called nonsense. Why the allies are taking it?
I think Ravi Shankar Prasad makes a few solid points and observations there today. Though I think Ravi Shankar Prasad, at one point, I think you are shedding crocodile tears for the Prime Minister. Your real intention behind those tears, you are shedding copiously, if I may say so, for the Prime Minister is to drive a wedge. You are driving a wedge.
Just give me one line, one line. Whenever Dr. Manmohan Singh goes abroad, we have been criticizing him and will continue to do so. Our friends in the government say, Mr. Prasad, please don't be so harsh. The PM is abroad, he is negotiating. Please have a little milder expression. We agree for that. But these kind of principles are not applicable to the great Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Today, Manmohan Singh was meeting Obama.
So?
He was not meeting as Manmohan Singh. He was meeting as the Prime Minister of India. On that day, When he was supposed to address the UN, he was supposed to meet the Nawaz Sharif,
So-
Mr. Nawaz Sharif. In spite of our
Arnab.
opposition, he has been castigated.
What-
For
Arnab,
a weekend.
you are
I don't
okay.
make one point.
Getting Sanjay Jha into the debate. One second.
Can I just
One
make
second.
one point?
Sanjay Jha joining the debate. The question is Sanjay Jha is this. One second. So question is this. Let us not forget. Let us not forget that the Prime Minister is currently away in the US of A, Mr. Jha. A few weeks ago, he makes a statement that he will be happy to work under Rahul Gandhi. So when Rahul Gandhi completely upstages him and emerges as the hero, does it not cast a huge shadow on the remaining tenure of the Manmohan Singh government?
It's a no confidence. I am again and again saying it's a no confidence.
Arnab, these are totally unrelated and completely disparate developments. Number one, I think as Rahul Gandhi categorically stated when he came today impromptu for the press conference, and the word impromptu was used by all TV channels as well, which is appropriate. It was a spontaneous gesture. He said when he came there that he was speaking to Ajay Maken and he knew that he was debating the issue of ordinance, and he decided to come there and have a free and frank chat. Number two, as far as the developments in Washington are concerned, let me tell you, the Prime Minister is negotiating multiple national issues there with world leaders, and that cannot be compared with this at all. So there's been no attempt. Let me tell you categorically, as a spokesman of the Congress party, the Prime Minister has got the full and the complete support of the Congress party and the UPA. Anybody trying to link Rahul Gandhi's statement today
Sanjay Jha, Sanjay Jha, you know,
they don't have to be,
besides those
because
scripted lines
they
which you
should
are
feel
parroting.
good that he is supporting that the ordinance.
Sanjay Jha, let us be a little real today. The Congress, Rahul Gandhi has also criticized the Congress party. He has exposed the Congress party's doublespeak. He has shown that what the Congress spokespersons were doing was merely parroting of a political line. He's left the Congress party embarrassed. Let us not forget that the Congress party publicly defended this ordinance. The Congress party was part of the all-party meeting on August 13th. So can they wash their hands completely of this episode? You know, you can't on television today do this good cop, bad cop routine. Otherwise, I will quote to you all the Congress spokespersons and what they said 3 days back. And you are changing your position right now. So, Sanjay Jha, how do you feel? Yesterday, you have one view on the ordinance on television. Today, you have another view on the ordinance on television.
Can I
explain? No, 1 second. And don't say it's an evolving situation.
No, I won't say evolving or a revolving situation. I'll make it very simple for you. I was on your Times Now program.
Yes.
The theme of your program was that this entire program is, the entire ordinance is politically motivated on account of a verdict coming up where Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav
No,
is concerned.
the theme of the debate was what is the hurry for the ordinance. You stand corrected. No. I remember what the theme of the program was. The theme of the program was what is the hurry for this ordinance. This is an ordinance that is aimed at protecting politicians. It is a wrong thing to do. And all of you, including you, Sanjay Jha, went hammer and tongs. That was the day when Manish Tiwari called Sushma Swaraj's comments as unsolicited advice, which is neither appreciated nor taken seriously. And he said that I find Sushma Swaraj's comments, which are unsolicited, amusing / surprising. You know, that was the day when we were doing that discussion, and I remember what Raj Babbar said, Jairam Ramesh said, Kapil Sibal said, you said, Manish Tiwari said. So don't change your position here today. Let's go back to the moot issue. The moot issue is that when a Congress... The moot issue is when a Congress vice president randomly walks into a press conference and announces his opposition in the choicest of words. The choicest of words. Everybody feels here today, including Kumar Ketkar, that it undermines the credibility of the Prime Minister. I'm sure you agree with
I never said it undermines the credibility of Prime Minister.
Well, all I want to tell you is that we spend considerable time on the style, on the semantics, on the syntax. But I think the fundamental point is the substance of what he said.
So what he personally feels has no relevance.
Perhaps Rahul Gandhi acted as his
the Prime
alter ego.
Minister of India. He remains the Prime Minister of India. The words they have been used, calling nonsense to the entire cabinet, throwing the ordinance away. I think he wanted to humiliate not only the Prime Minister but the entire cabinet of India.
Now, is it possible, Hartosh, that Rahul Gandhi did not think this one through? Is it possible that this was just spontaneous, a mistake, perhaps a little bit of an intemperate response? Because, Today, with what Rahul Gandhi has said, there are two options. If the government withdraws, the Prime Minister is spineless.
Arnab,
If the government does not withdraw, the Prime Minister is defying Rahul Gandhi. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You have no room for a political maneuver. You do not have any face saver left. The only face saver the Prime Minister of India frankly has tonight, if he wants to walk out of this with respect, if he wants to walk out of this with respect, is to quit.
Yeah.
Is to quit. Hartosh.
And then we can call him a game changer. We can call Rahul Gandhi a game changer.
With you, Arnab.
Arnab, if you look at the history of Rahul Gandhi over the past 3 or 4 years, this is a pattern that has been repeated. One is that none of his gestures are spontaneous. It's a rehearsed, whether he goes to Bhatta Parsol, whether he's campaigning in UP, whether he wants to give 1 or 2 rotis to somebody. And he wants to make statements and gestures which resonate with the public. Unfortunately, he has never been able to calculate the entire ramifications of what he does and says. And I think this is perfectly in keeping with this past.
What are you alleging?
That it was rehearsed, yet he did not anticipate what implication it will have on his government, on his party, on Manmohan Singh in the US. And